Hi, and welcome to Brace Yourself Jury. Today, while I show you how to make this simple stretch bracelet, I wanted to talk to you about actually how to start a jewelry business. So I'll talk with you guys about that today as we make this bracelet. Basically, this bracelet is really simple. What I do is I take some really thin wire. I apologize, I forgot the gauge of the wire, but it's really thin. It's thin enough to slide through the holes of the needle. And what I do is I bend it in half. And then I take some elastic, some stretch elastic. I got this at Amazon, but you can get it at Joann's and Michael's. It's just some elastic, clear stretch elastic. And what I do is I pull it long enough and I stretch it. Just give it a nice little tug like that. And then what I do is that wire that I had, I bend it in half and kind of squeeze it together. And that's going to serve like as a needle. And so you just take the wire, bend it in half, and then you slide the elastic in between the wire like that. Because what's going to happen is as you bead the bracelet, it's going to be double going between the holes of the bracelet instead of a single strand, and that'll help it not break so easy. So as you're going through, the elastic is actually doubled up, and you take the needle that you made and you squeeze it together, and if the wire is thin enough, it should go through the holes pretty smoothly. And so what you do is you just start threading the balls onto the elastic. And these bracelets, as far as getting started for a business, this is a simple way that you can get started. You can just get you some beads. You can start off at Joann's and Michael's, catch a good sale, and buy you some string beads, and come home and practice this technique. And what it is you just make your stretchy bracelets in different colors. And what you can do is you can just get started with your business with that. What I did is I started off just making stretchy bracelets, and I did it as simple as I could. I'm more like a freestyle jewelry maker. I don't follow a lot of rules, and I don't do a lot of measuring. I just eyeball. And so I started off making these stretchy bracelets. And what I did is as I made them, I would just take them to work. And just like on Friday, on payday, I would take a bag or a big variety of bracelets to work and just pass them around to my coworkers, and they'll see something cute that they like, and they'll just pull out the bracelets that they like, and they would pay me for them. And you can set your prices basically as far as how much you pay for them. I'll make another video on how to set your prices, but you can sell these between like $5 and $10, depending on if the stones are plastic or if they're real, like agates. But you can pretty much price them up to you. They're real easy to sell. When people see them, they get excited and they just start looking through the bag, and they just pick the colors that they like and they buy them. So that's pretty much how you can just get started. You can just get started on these stretchy bracelets. And I usually make mine between 7.5 inches and 8 inches, and I use 10 millimeter for the most part. So like for the 8 inch, I'll use like 20 or 21 stones. And for the 7.5, like if you have a small wrist like I do, I'll put like 19 beads on the elastic. But you can work that out. You can try them on yourself and try them out on family members to see what works best. And a lot of times, or you can customize them for your customers too. You know, a lot of times I would just have some extra elastic in my bag and a needle in my bag at work. And if someone had a particular fit, I would just simply string them together and just make them custom. So you can do that too. And if this is not your thing, this would be a good thing for your kids or your grandkids. You guys can sit and on a weekend and make these bracelets, and then the kids can take them to school and sell them as a way to get a little business started. So it's something that you can do. It's something that the kids can do just to learn how to be an entrepreneur and how to start a small business. They're easy to sell. You can carry the bag around with you, and friends and relatives, they're always looking for stretch bracelets to stack on their wrists. And like I said, it's really fun for the kids. Like if your daughters or granddaughters have a pajama party or something like that, you can buy some beads and some little trays like this and just sit around and let the kids make bracelets. And that can be an activity for them to do, as well as teaching them how to start a small business. And that's pretty much how I started before I started advancing into other types of jewelry. I basically watched a lot of YouTube videos on my own, and I just kind of took off with it. And I just started putting together different color combinations and just having fun with it. And you can add different beads, you can add embellishments. There's so many ways that you can go, but making these stretch bracelets is a good start right here. So once I get to the end of the bracelet, there's going to be a loop, and then there's going to be two loose strands. And what I do is I take the elastic and I slide it through the loop, and I tie it like 3 times. As hopefully you guys can see that. But what I do is I take the 2 strands and I take one of the strands and I put it through the loop, and then I tie it like 3 times. And then once I tie it 3 times, let me show you right here. Once I tie it 3 times, what I do is I take those tiny little 3 knots and I slide it through the whole of the bead. And then what I do is I go through again and I take it, I stretch it, and I go 3 times that I loop it through, like tying a knot, but tying a knot like 3 times instead of tying a knot 1 time. I tie it 3 times. And see, like 1, 2, and then 3. And then I pull. You pull, try not to pull too tight so that you don't break it. And then once you pull it 3 times, you'll have like 3 little baby knots, and those 3 little baby knots will be able to slide up under the bead. And that gives you a little bit more reinforcement. And then after I do that, then I take it and I tie it 1 time. And then I tie it again just to reinforce, and then I tie it again into a knot like this. And then sometimes I might even tie it a 3rd time. What you just want to do is just make sure it's nice and sturdy, and you'll be able to feel it, to see if it's to your satisfaction. And then I cut it. And then after that, that's pretty much all you do. And then you have a nice bracelet. And this technique that I use, it makes the bracelet pretty strong. So instead of having 1 string in between, it's a double string in between the beads, and it makes it a little bit stronger. And if you want to, you can take the pliers and just cut off the little ends like that, and just cut it like that. And then what I do is I try to stretch it and take the end of the knot and slide it up under the bead so that you don't see any knots. But if you just happen to have a knot in between, if you're starting off, that's fine too. As long as the bracelet is strong and sturdy, it's going to look cute, and it's not going to be something that's going to be noticed. But as you go along, and especially if you want to sell them, you'll get the hang of being able to take those knots and hide them up under the bead. And there you have just a easy stretch bracelet. And it's just that easy to get started on a business. Just like that, just get you some pretty colors, catch a sale, get you some beads off the internet or wherever you want to buy your beads. And this is a big bag that I have. These are agates that I ordered off the internet. And then you put together different styles. And this is how you kind of advertise to your customers. You have a big bag of beads, and then you put together different color combinations. And a lot of people like to wear these. They're popular. They're easy to wear. They go with everything. Like here's a black and white combination right here. And that's something pretty that everyone would like. You just use your imagination. And here's like a green, like an apple green combination that I put together right quick. And you can just make a jewelry wardrobe out of these, even if you're just making them for yourself. That's like a combination right there to put together. And when people see these, when you bring them in a big bag, they get excited. And I just hand them the bag and I just let them pick out what they want. That's like a pink combination right there. And it's real simple, and it's real easy to get a business started just from this. There's a purple combination right there. So it's just different things that you can do. That's a clear quartz combination. And they're fun. And like I said, for you or the kids, your co-workers, this is a great way to get started on your jewelry business. And if you would like to see more videos like this or see more tutorials, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video.